Today on the Stay at Home Chef, I'm showing you how to make chocolate cheesecake with Oreo crust. This chocolate cheesecake recipe is full of great chocolate flavor that will satisfy any chocoholic. To start, you'll need a 9-inch springform pan. You'll want to grease the sides and bottom of your springform pan with either butter or shortening. And you want to be sure to grease it really well. Otherwise, your cheesecake might crack. Don't skimp on the butter. You want to really rub it in there. This is a cheesecake, so we are not exactly concerned about calories. For our Oreo crust, you'll need 24 regular Oreos, not double stuffed, just the regular kind. Then we're going to put the lid on and crush these into little crumbs. Now, of course, you don't have to have a food processor to do this. You could also whack these with a mallet or something. You just want a finely crushed Oreo. Then you'll pour in a 1/4 cup of melted butter. Then we'll toss this mixture together. Next, we're gonna scoop this into the bottom of our springform pan. You can use the back of a spoon to gently press this down and spread it out into an even layer so that you have an even bottom crust. You want to make sure you apply a little bit of pressure once you get it evened out so that it'll be nice and compact. Set aside your crust while you make your cheesecake filling. Now this cheesecake is rather large, so you can do this in a very large mixing bowl with a hand mixer, or you can use a stand mixer, which is just a little bit easier. We'll start with our dry ingredients. So you'll need 2 cups of granulated sugar, 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour, 1/2 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder, and about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, which will enhance the chocolate flavor. Then we're just gonna give this a quick stir to combine. Next, you'll need 4 8-ounce packages of cream cheese, which is 32 ounces total. This is where it's easier to use a stand mixer because this is a lot of cream cheese. It helps if this is softened to room temperature. Then we're gonna cream this together until it's smooth. Next, you'll need 4 ounces of unsweetened baking chocolate. You want it to be unsweetened. Clearly, there's already enough sugar in here, and we need to melt it. So we'll want to give this a rough chop so it melts easier. I'm going to melt mine in the microwave in 15-second increments, stirring in between. In order to add this in, you want to turn on your mixer so that you can mix this in slowly. If you were to do it all at once and wait a little bit, the coldness of the cream cheese mixture would harden your chocolate, and then you'd have little chunks. Make sure you stop and scrape the bottom and sides of the bowl as necessary to make sure that everything gets mixed in. Then it's time to add in our last 3 ingredients. You'll need 4 large eggs, 1 cup of sour cream, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and then we'll mix this until just combined. You want to be careful not to overmix, otherwise you'll beat in too much air and your cheesecake might crack. But don't worry too much about it or stress over it because it'll still taste delicious. It just may have a slight crack to it. Then we'll scoop this mixture on top of our Oreo crust. And then you want to spread this out so it's in an even layer on top. Give it a few good taps so that you make sure there's no air pockets. Next, it's time to bake. Cheesecakes bake more evenly when they're baked in a water bath, and I have a cool little trick for you on that. Now, people are always worried about leaking or the water getting in the cheesecake, so what you want to do is take 3 pieces of aluminum foil and crumple them up just like this. Then you'll place these on a baking sheet, like kind of a triangle formation, and set your cheesecake on top. This will elevate it just high enough so that the water can't get in. Then, since it's always problematic to transfer a pan full of water to the oven, I surround mine in ice. About 4 cups of ice on a baker's half sheet is the perfect amount. I don't have to worry about sloshing water going into the oven, and it will just barely have evaporated by the time the cheesecake is done cooking. Then we'll slide this into a 350-degree oven to bake for 1 hour. After 1 hour, you'll want to just turn your oven off, but do not open the door. You want to let it sit in the oven with the door closed to cool. This is a controlled cooling environment that will help prevent your cheesecake from cracking. So leave it in the oven with the door closed for 5 to 6 hours with the oven off. Luckily, I already have one made. After it cools from the oven, you can refrigerate it. And you're about to see why we use a springform pan, because when I unlock this, it'll spread out the sides and it'll easily remove from the cheesecake. And that's it. This cheesecake is ready to slice and serve. Thanks for watching. You can find the full written recipe in the video description. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow, and check out the rest of my videos, where you can find hundreds of restaurant quality recipes you can easily make at home. See you later.